What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy Day, and welcome to the Man United Talks Manchester Derby preview. Like I said, welcome to the Manchester Derby preview. If you do enjoy, drop a like and subscribe. This is the umpteenth time I have recorded this preview because of technical difficulties, and as I was about to say, I can't speak. My mouth is just all over the place. Anyway, let's get into this preview, and from now on, it's going to be a structured preview. Okay, before obviously I had a little bit of a plan. I talk about the team, I talk about the result, blah blah blah, score prediction. From now on, football news regarding Manchester United, outside football news, and then team news in terms of injuries, who's fit, who's in form, all that good stuff, the lineup and all that. After that, we talk about the opposition and then the score prediction and then deuces. Okay, that's the way it's going to go. I'll add little bits and bobs as we go, but pretty much that's the way it's going to go. Okay, so first piece of news, the biggest piece of news I'm excited about, or the most excited about, is David De Gea's contract talks and rumors. Rumored a 5-year deal. The man is 27, 28 years old, I believe. And 3 years will get him in his prime. I mean, we already have him in his prime, but I mean, goalkeepers age like fine wine, and he is unbelievable. He is the best in the world. And if you don't believe he's the best in the world, then Neuer is the best in the world, which means De Gea is the second best in the world, which means if you have an opportunity to hold on to the second best goalkeeper in the world, even though he's the best, if you have an opportunity to do that, do what you need to do. First of all, he's been here for 7 years now, and or 6 years now, whatever. He's built a legacy at Manchester United, and all he needs to complete that is maybe another Premier League. No, not maybe. We need him in order to get another Premier League, or a Champions League. And I think if we do that, he's going to stay here, and that's just the way the cookie crumbles, in my opinion. That's the biggest piece of news. I mean, people talking about Martial leaving. Shut up. Shut your mouth, okay? He's going to be here for at least another 2 seasons, in my opinion, so just leave it alone. And as for the last piece of news, not really related to United, but it is in a sense because it's regarding our next opposition in Manchester City, who lost 3-0 at Anfield against Jurgen Klopp's terrible midfield, okay? And here's the biggest thing about that performance that stood out to me, and what we need to just take that blueprint, stick it on a piece of paper, and put out that team sheet with our players, okay? Here's what happened. Jordan Henderson, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, and James Milner. That's what won Liverpool that game. Salah, yes, he got a goal and an assist. But that midfield was so, so tight and compact. And the biggest thing that all of those players offer is energy. Jordan Henderson can run for days. He's not a great football player by any stretch of the imagination, but he's fit and he can run for days. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, fit, can run for days, without question, will give you, he's like a bloody, cross-country athlete, whatever, runs for days. And we all know James Milner, at the tender age of, 33, 32, still can run for days. These are players that have been fit throughout their whole career and will give you running for days. That's what you need against Manchester City. And when I say this, I've said this so many times, I'm pretty sure you're tired of hearing it. But the running for days comes into the equation here, okay? Liverpool pressured Manchester City. They literally were hugging that midfield trio of De Bruyne, Silva, Fernandinho, okay? Not so much Fernandinho, but De Bruyne and Silva were suffocated, okay? And they didn't have any space or any just lines to create any real just chances. City did not have a shot on target all game. And this is the best team the Premier League's ever seen, who lost to 3rd place in the Premier League. I mean, I understand it's a Champions League night at Anfield, which is one of the best crowds the Premier League has ever seen. But, or probably the best, in just fairness to them. But I mean, the best team in the Premier League, or for some, the best team ever. Bloody hell. No. Proven as last night. Pep Guardiola is stubborn. Mourinho went to Anfield, got a draw. He beat them as well at Old Trafford. Okay, you want to talk about being tactically naive? That is Pep Guardiola in a nutshell. Okay, I don't want to hear anything else. Okay, we're moving on from that anyway. Let's talk about Manchester United. Let's talk about the actual team news. Okay, Phil Jones, Marcus Rojo, and Herrera. We saw Ander Herrera play, so we know he's fit. But Marcus Rojo and Phil Jones are cleared fully fit, as Mourinho said, and that's cool. You know, I have a little fear that Phil Jones will be in the lineup because I don't want him to be. Not because I don't think he's good, but because he hasn't played much football recently. Neither has Rojo. But just because we know Mourinho, he's probably going to put Phil Jones in the team. And he's going to get absolutely touched up by Gabriel Jesus. Whatever. One injury, though, that is still will take a couple weeks for this player to be fit is Sergio Romero. We all know he got injured, or you should know he got injured in national duty. So he will not be involved for the next 2 to 3 weeks with something in his hand. Something he messed up his hand. I can't remember what the injury was. But, yeah, it is what it is. But one thing I'm happy about regarding team news is Daley Bloody Blind is back training with the first team. I mean, there's 7 games left in the season, so Mourinho is probably just going to let him play the last 2 games of the Premier League season. I don't know what the case is, right? Okay? But I love Daley Blind. He's a cool dude. He can pass the ball. He's smart, okay? If he wants to come back and be like a coach at Manchester United, he's more than welcome in my eyes because, dude, quality. Anyway, yeah, he's back training with the first team, and that is that. Now, let's talk about the lineups and all that good stuff. Let's talk about Manchester City. Let's talk about Manchester United, how we're going to line up, how we're going to beat these, all right? Come on. I'll see you in a second. So as you can see, I got my little smart board going on. You know, this app is good. I'll put the link in the description. I got it on iTunes. It's not a sponsor. I'm just using the app for simple tactical analysis and all that good jazz. All right. So as you see, I've gone with Luke Shaw, Smalling, Bailly, Valencia. I forgot about the hair because it's just that obvious. Sorry. But yeah, Luke Shaw, Smalling, Bailly, Valencia as my back 4. Pogba, Matic, Sanchez in the midfield. And Rashford, Mata, and Lukaku as the front 3, you could say. Although we all know Mata is going to play a number 10 and a half. The half being on the right side. Anyway, the way I see this lining up, I'm just going to say this first and foremost to start this, is more or less what I see it's going to be. And these two are going to switch positions like so. But obviously we're going to line up in a 4-2-3-1. But as you can see watching Alexis Sanchez, he loves to come deep and receive the ball. He also tracks back very deep to chase whoever he's defending. Now, I'm going to go through Manchester United's attacking tactics. So, let me just switch this up real quick. Okay, so this is pretty much what I believe we will see against Manchester City. Okay, this is basically how I think the team, the average positions will lay out. You'll probably see, you know, something like this. This is specifically for when Manchester United are attacking. This is it. I'll do City's defense in the next scene, I guess. Okay, so as you see, these are the average positions I'm predicting. Now, as I said before, Pogba obviously will dominate this sort of area. Okay. And Sanchez is going to do what Sanchez does, is as in drift around, mainly up in this area and monitor this area. Juan Mata, for a person who starts out here, he often comes in this area. And he and Rashford have been doing bits lately. But the biggest thing for me in this game, let me get out my little thing. Whoa. Pause, no homo. That's not even homo. Whatever. Okay, this right here is the biggest battle for me. These two right here. Mainly in a defensive sense for both of them. Defending each other is going to be the biggest thing. I think personally Pogba's a better defender than De Bruyne. I think that's obvious. But De Bruyne will keep tight to you. He's not going to tackle you. He probably will, but it's going to be a bad tackle. But this is the biggest thing for me. Mainly because obviously De Bruyne is the candidate for second. Or he's in second. it's not arguable that what's his face, Mohamed Salah should be best player, PFA player of the year. Jesus, I can't talk. I told you. And De Bruyne is second in that argument. I don't think anyone else is really in that argument, or maybe Harry Kane, but no. Yeah, these two right here. Okay, if Pogba shuts down De Bruyne, mainly it'll be shutting down City's supply, their biggest supply. Yes, David Silva is great, but I think if Matic is on David Silva, then that's just call it a quits. David Silva, it's over for you, mate. And Pogba, like I said, he needs to take care of De Bruyne, and he also needs to produce against De Bruyne. I don't know if someone else is going to be marking Pogba in this team, maybe Fernandinho, but we outsize in terms of height and even physicality. We outdo City in those areas of the game, so we need to use those to the best of our ability. I wouldn't be surprised to see Fellaini involved, hopefully off the bench in this game, but that's the way I see the cookie crumbling in this game, okay? Especially for Manchester United attacking. This guy right here, oh crap, I gotta take that off. Give me a second. Okay. This guy right here is gonna be big as well. The only problem I have, or think will happen, I want this to happen. I want him to be all over Otamendi, just discombobulating his life. But the biggest thing that's gonna happen, probably, since Kompany is so experienced and a great leader, he's probably gonna take Lukaku to himself and say, you know what, I'm handling this. Let's do this. Which is something Van Dijk didn't do, and which is why we got the result we did against Liverpool. Okay? Sanchez and Fernandinho, I think it'll work its way out, but Sanchez is going to be all over the place, so I think everyone in Bloody City's team is going to have a chance to mark Alexis Sanchez. I think Shaw definitely should play because Kyle Walker is so fast, because Sterling is so fast, and also Kyle Walker is a brute. He is physical. If he gets a chance up against Ashley Young's hitting the ground real quick. Kyle Walker is a beast, okay? As for Sané and Valencia, I think it'll just be more what you saw in the last game. Valencia was kind of out of his depth because he's not a right back, and Sané is very quick and is very fast in his, not just his pace, but his movement all around. He zips around like a little bee, and yeah, just pray for Valencia. Hashtag pray for Valencia. As you see, lastly, Laporte. If you watch the Liverpool game, the Champions League game, sorry, Laporte likes to sit back or not. He's not a fullback. He's a good player who can put in a cross and a pass and all that good jazz. But Kyle Walker generally is going to do this. Laporte, the furthest he'll come is probably here. When they played Stoke, he came up very high, but this isn't Stoke, so I don't think he'll probably give himself that freedom. And last but not least, this guy outdoes this guy, because we all know that. Anyway, so for all you City fans who even think Ederson is in the conversation with De Gea, shut up, okay? Not even being nice. Just shut up, okay? I'm not even going to do City's defensive or City's attacking part of it, because we know how they play. That's the thing about Manchester City. Manchester City have one way of functioning and one way of playing, and if you navigate that threat, which is predominantly in the midfield in my opinion, because Kyle Walker is not a great crosser of the ball. He just hits the ball really hard. Laporte, it's very good at finding a pass inside, almost in a Leighton Baines-esque way. Leighton Baines always puts the ball, or definitely in his prime, would pass the ball into who was in the midfield at that time? I don't even know. Ross Barkley. He would give the ball into Ross Barkley, move about, and just kind of get the ball inside. Regardless, I think City's biggest threats, like I said, come from their midfield. So if Pogba takes care of De Bruyne, as I said, Matic is going to take care of Silva without question, if that's the way the matchups go. But another thing I could see is Jesse Lingard starting in this game, which I would not have a problem with. But I think Jesse Lingard off the bench, in this game particularly, would be unbelievable. I think he would ruin City for just, that's what we need. That's my personal opinion. Anyway, last but not least, any other notes I got here before the prediction? We kept clean sheets in our last two games at the Etihad. That's an awesome fact. Aguero may not feature in this game because he has been injured. He missed the last couple games with I think his ribs are, messed up. Because they should be. You got in a bloody car accident, but you played in the next week of football. Apparently you broke ribs, but you was allowed to play. So maybe your bloody injections are wearing off, allegedly, and you're probably feeling the real pain. Okay? That's probably what's happening. Alright? I like you, Aguero, but nah. Anyway. just want to say one last thing. I don't know whether I would laugh or cry if Manchester City came back in the second leg of this, because I mean, if Liverpool bottle it, you get to laugh at them. But on the other hand, City would just look that much better. Anyway, last but not least, the score prediction. I'm going to predict, this is a goal fest. I'm going to predict 3-2 to Manchester United. Sanchez gets a goal. Lukaku gets a goal. They come back to 2-2. Lingard off the bench. 3-2. They all end themselves. That's the way it's going down. If you did enjoy, drop a like and subscribe. This has been your boy Dave. It's been the Man United Talks Manchester Derby preview. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Deuces.